Hey fellas, welcome to another episode of Living for Today. I'm sorry it's dark in here, my light blew out, and I'm sorry I'm kinda just not into it as much as I would be today. I'm having a really bad day. So I figured maybe by telling this story it would help lift me up as well as it does some of you guys. This is a true story of inspiration. It didn't happen to me, I read this story, but I'm gonna tell it through the eyes of the first person because it just happens to sound better that way. When I was 10 or 11 years old, on our way going shopping, we would go under this bridge and there was always a homeless guy under there with his dog. So whenever we'd go by, my mom would pick up an extra can of dog food or a bag of dog food and would give him whatever change we had left over from the store. Well, as I got older, I got used to seeing the guy, and I'd hand him change here and there, and we hired him to do some work around the house, cleaning up the yard and doing some stuff. So he was pretty regularly known to us anyway. Well, as I got older, I thought it was fun to go out and get drunk a lot. And when I was 16, I started talking to this guy about not saying anything to my parents, but if he would go to the store and buy me and my friends beer, I would give him $10 to do whatever he wanted to do with. So he would do that. And this went on for probably 3 or 4 years until one day we went to go find him so we could get drunk, and he wasn't there. And all of a sudden he was just gone. Now, flash forward 10 years later, I happen to be homeless and an alcoholic. And I'm hanging out under that same bridge. Well, I'm sitting there drinking one day, and this guy walks up to me, and he hands me a couple dollars, and he asks me why I'm there. I'm young enough to be up and on my own, have a place. Why am I sitting under a bridge getting drunk? And I was telling him the story about how my life just kind of went to hell. Our house burnt down, I lost my mom, and I gave up on life. Well, he proceeds to tell me that at one point he was homeless and that he lived under that bridge. And it clicked in my head, and I asked him, did a guy used to come here and have you buy beer for him and his friends, and pay you? And he said, yeah. And I said, brother, that was me. So we sat there talking for a good 30 minutes, and I asked him, what happened? We came to find him one day and he disappeared. Well, it turns out this guy happened to get arrested, and going through the steps, he ended up going into a hospital, and they put him back on his meds. Well, when he got back on his meds, he kind of straightened out, and he got an apartment, and he got a job. Well, over the course of those 10 years, the job that he had sweeping floors, he worked his way up to management. Well, that guy gave me a card that day. It was 5 years ago. I went into it happened to be a vegetable and fruit packaging plant. So I go to this place on the card he gives me, figuring he's going to give me a day or two's worth of labor, sweeping floors or cleaning up around the building, stuff like he used to do at my house. Well, he ended up starting me off full-time at $9.50 an hour. I've been working there now 5 days a week, 40 to 50 hours a week, and now I'm the floor manager. So I hope this story is inspiring to some of you, knowing no matter how bad life gets, karma always comes back around. It's always going to be a better day tomorrow. No matter how bad today is, you can always say, you know what, I don't care how bad it is today, because it's just going to make tomorrow that much greater. And that's what I read from that story, and you know what, I think it lifted my spirits, because I've been having a pretty rough day, and just hearing that and being able to share that story with you guys, it actually helps. So I hope you enjoyed it too. Well, with that being said, I hope to see you next time.